Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Superkickin with Steven right here, your favorite host, Steven A. 1181. To the other side of me is Quigs. We have a special guest host today. Greg is out gallivanting the world as he does some days, but he could not make it tonight. We're going to press ahead without him, like we do. We're looking ahead to, Clash at the Castle, All Out, Worlds Collide. We got a lot of stuff that's happened in the past week, especially concerning the AEW Women's Championship, which definitely threw me for a loop there. But Quiggs, welcome back. How is the world of baseball treating you?
Well, in Philadelphia news, Bryce Harper's back, so all Philly fans are rejoicing. They're the first time they've been at full strength since, I don't know, May, maybe.
Okay.
So they're finally all together. The Yankees are still rocking and rolling. The Braves are still the Braves. San Diego got shot in the foot there a little bit with Fernando Tatis getting popped with PEDs. So it's getting down to the wire, getting pretty interesting.
Took him a few minutes to come clean about what exactly he put on his body too, right? Did he try to say first it was something else, and now he's like,
well, it all stems from him being pretty stupid. In the preseason, he was riding his motorcycle, fell off, and that's how he broke his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And then had his surgery. Or no, I don't think he had the surgery yet, but he was trying to rehab it. Finally gets back into rehab, tests positive for PEDs, and then he said it was something for ringworm. And, everybody found out that was just a bunch of BS, and he gets suspended for so now he's suspended for 80 games, and now he's getting the surgery. So he'll be back next year after they unloaded the entire farm system to get Juan Soto, which I correctly called. I nailed the trade. Go me. And then whenever we get back on to just a bit outside, I'm going to have to brag up about how I know more about baseball than Matt and John.
There you go. And like you said, the Braves are rolling. I'm hearing a lot of people are thinking they could go back-to-back, which would be pretty impressive considering how, as a 90s baseball fan, you think about all those division titles that the Braves won and got one World Series out of it. Was it 94?
I think they got one or two out of it, but they went there quite a few times.
So, yeah. But anyway, But back to the big news. So, I didn't know where to put this in our AEW recap, but I figured I'd just throw it out there now. Thunder Rosa has to step down as champion for the time being. I don't think I saw what injury they said she has, but her name was mentioned a few times. Sounds like, there's legit issues between her and Britt Baker, maybe with Jamie Hayter as well. I don't know what to make all that, but for the time being, we will have an interim world champion because you know what, Quick? AEW loves their interim champions, which
I kind of joke at the whole interim thing anyway, because, instead of just, shoving the champion down and keep having them do, some mic work to build up, possibly something else, let's just throw a tournament together or a fatal 4-way or something together to get us a champion versus champion, which we all know how those eventually end up.
Especially we'll get into CM Punk and Moxley about that. But so Tony Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Akira Shida. So you have two former champions in there, Quigs. Who are we picking in this?
Let's see here. Because I just got back from vacation, haven't really been following a whole bunch, so this one's news to me here.
I think it's got to be Tony.
Yeah, that's what I was. The first guess would be Tony, just because you had the whole tag team with them going together for a little bit, so that gives you the, the friend versus friend for whenever you decide to do the undisputed champion.
And you could do a respect factor. I don't think you need to have anybody turn heel necessarily.
Unless they want to plan on having Jamie somehow try to pin Britt.
And then and then you do Jamie versus Thunder, which I would assume Thunder would win that.
Yeah, you'd think, depending on how long she's going to go out, or you could go with Britt Baker and have another set of series with those two.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if the title was going to be defended on All Out because it didn't sound like they had anything planned. So at least the title will be there. I'm very surprised there's really nothing that, has said yet, like what injury she's fighting or what she's doing, but she's out for the I mean, and she was such on a roll, and that's really pushing for the women, and just kind of sucks the timing to think that CM Punk just got back, and now you have your other world champion get hurt. And AEW has been on kind of a little up and down roller coaster here for a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, just trying to read up with everything with the possible backstage drama with Punk and Moxley coming out. Supposedly that's why they did the title I guess what you call it, unification or the undisputed match on free TV instead of the pay-per-view, because I guess they weren't sure about how Punk was going to even show up that night, apparently, or something like that.
Yeah, there's, it's like they said, I would assume you got to go through growing pains. Let's face it, Punk has an ego. I mean, he doesn't become CM Punk if he doesn't, but that's been as far as he's always been concerned. So,
yeah.
And I don't know if ego's the right word or if he's just so sure of himself. Maybe a little full of himself as well. But
I mean, there's a point between cockiness and knowing that you're good.
Yeah.
And it's a very thin line. So,
and I don't know which side he tends to. I think he rides a little bit on both at times. The other bit of news, Bray Wyatt. Now the smoke and fire keeps coming out about him coming back. First off, Quiggs, are you a Bray Wyatt fan in any incarnation he had?
I mean, I get the creative aspects of it, but it's never really been a guy I've been able to take seriously. I mean, ever since the whole Wyatt family introduction, my first initial thought of it was, why do we have a down south Cajun family, weird kind of inbred thing going on?
Yeah.
And then they turned it oh, he's got powers or something. Okay, this got weird, but hey, it got over, so credit to him. But I never got the Fiend thing. I'm not a big fan of the normal guy can transform into this different persona. Even Finn Balor's demon thing, I'm not a big old fan of. But basically becoming a second character within yourself that's supposedly unbeatable.
What about when Mick Foley did it?
That was different. Was it different though? Was it really different? But his was more entertaining though.
I guess you knew he had Cactus Jack in him technically.
Yeah, and then the major twist there was Dude Love.
Dude Love was the one that was more a Vince McMahon trying to get, and then of course he needed the team with Stone Cold at the time, and Stone Cold didn't want a team with him. So yeah, which is funny because Dude Love was a character he created years even before he came. Something like a Dude Love.
Yeah, but it's not like Mick Foley went to Dude Love to beat the tar out of everybody.
That's true. Yeah.
That was more of the Cactus Jack, which he had always done.
Yeah.
In his thing, it's not like he's the normal guy turning it up to 12. He was the guy essentially toning it down to Dude Love to be a joke.
Yeah, and it got over.
And the man got it over.
But I would like to see Bray Wyatt come back.
So where's he going to end up?
I think it's got to be WWE.
Do you think Triple H has already been putting up the feelers?
I mean, because I've already got to assume you got Sasha and Naomi back. That's why you're doing the tag team tournament. Nick Gargano just came back. You already have Karrion Kross. You have Dexter Lumis showing back up. Bray Wyatt is the white whale. That's essentially the last guy I think you get back to kind of, see what he could do, maybe with a little less restraint.
Though, wasn't his thing going out that he was a bit difficult to work with?
But then again,
was that the slap on to everybody?
Where they just kind of slap that on just so maybe Tony Khan want to try to scoop him up. But
but
but then again, is that whole idea? What you want to do with your character? Does that make you difficult to work with? Because I don't know if you caught the Edge AEW or A&E Legends episode. He was talking about when he first came out, he didn't know what his character was. Because if you remember, he was just coming through the crowd and being this, I forget what was the word they kept calling, tortured.
The tortured soul guy.
So he had no idea what to do, and he, and then I guess there was talk that they wanted to make him deaf, and then he couldn't talk.
Oh, great!
Yeah. So he had, he kind of had to go back for that because,
Well, because
if you don't have my time, then
they had him not talk for how long until he caught up with the Brood, and that was the whole thing. Is Edge going to talk?
Yeah. So,
still some of the coolest music ever to come into.
Of course, yeah. So I could see Bray Wyatt maybe pushing too much at times for what he wanted, and if that makes you difficult to work with, well then, so be. But aren't you going to fight for what you believe in? Especially with the, it's not like he's been in the company for some years.
Yeah.
It's not like he just came in day one. It's like, hey, I mean, he did freaking Husky Harris. I mean, that's, with CM Punk and with the Nexus. So not like he was trying to, push for himself then. I don't imagine. So plus being the son of IRS, I mean, you have a little legacy to your name. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
It's not The Rock or Stone Cold's son, but
but it's something.
But
it's okay. It's anybody who can claim that they're part of Samoa. I'm shocked they didn't try to make Samoa Joe part of the Rock's family.
Samoan.
The 63rd offspring of the third cousins, uncles.
Who knows? They might be related anyway. Who knows how far that?
Who was once roommates with Haku?
There you go. Love to see Samoa Joe back on TV, but I think he's trying to still film Twisted Metal, so that should be interesting to see him.
Does he still have the ROH title?
I believe so, the TV title.
Okay.
So, Claudio is our current world champion of ROH. So,
okay.
They had Death Before Dishonor in July, and then I'm not sure when the next ROH pay-per-view will be.
Yeah, they still got to get that ROH TV show out still, too.
That's the thing. I don't know if that's, if they're waiting on that or what. But.
Or unless they're waiting on that with the TV contract coming up.
That could be, yeah, because I would think 3 or 4. This is year 4 now for AEW, I believe, or year
3 or 4, I believe.
3, yeah, maybe 3. COVID really makes me think everything is like 5 years longer than it probably should be. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But Bray Wyatt back, I would love to see it just to kind of see what he can do with the character. Alexa Bliss really said she loved working with him, and I don't know if you could revisit that and kind of maybe tie in loose ends there, but
then all the work of that therapist goes out the window.
Exactly, but that's fine. She's still bringing out the doll anyway, so
Yeah, true.
There still might be something there. So, that was kind of the big news of this week. Was there anything that caught your eye? I know you were kind of out this weekend. Was there anything that caught your eye for the week or not?
Not from what I could see. I mean, I was more like following the CM Punk, rumors because that was the one blowing everything up.
And we'll get into that, where we think.
So I'm a little, I am a little rusty and behind on everything. So
I mean, I would, we'll definitely have thoughts on what happened on Wednesday night. So, let's take a quick commercial break though, and kind of get into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and then we'll get into AEW and finish up the show with hopefully what is a fun last call question that I kind of just threw out today. So, Rogue Energy for all your energy needs. Alrighty, so Raw happened. Really unique, kind of different way to start it off, where they had Rollins and Riddle just brawling. Like that's how they came live, and I always like that, chaotic stuff that they do at the beginning. The pull apart brawls will always get me quick started. I think the Brock and Taker one from way back in the day, where they just couldn't stop going at each other. But Riddle and Rollins, I do think need some sort of stipulation for Clash at the Castle, but I don't know what that is, but I think it'll be a really great match.
Yeah, probably going to be something like a Falls Count Anywhere type of deal.
Yeah. So, have you been following the Riddle and Rollins feud?
I haven't heard too much about it there. Is it still kind of Riddle trying to do whatever he wants to do, and Rollins just kind of strutting his stuff type of thing?
Yeah.
Or
This, and they haven't actually fought yet, so that's kind of unique. Usually we have a feud where they fought in 6-man tags or tag team matches leading up to the.
So they've literally just been talking.
Yeah,
they've just been spitting at each other, and now
they're
this
going
one.
to do SummerSlam, and they wrote off Riddle with an injury. So
that's right. That's what
we're
happened.
finally going to get the all-out match at Clash of the Castle. Kind of different because it'll be in Wales. So I'll be interested to see the crowd. I feel like they'll be on the bro side, but European, England crowds could be like Canadian crowds quick, where they might just backfire on it. And
they're all unpredictable.
Just start cheering on Rollins because Rollins has been. He's lost a lot, Quigs, but man, he's been an MVP in match quality. Him and Cody Rhodes, and just every night I feel like he puts on something.
Seems like ever since Triple H kind of took over, it was kind of the spin of like, all right, let's build this guy back up again.
Yeah.
So
he was kind of spinning his wheel.
Yeah, he was kind of those 3 Cody Rhodes matches in a row. Were like, okay, what's the end plan in all of this? You made him lose all 3. Now you kind of kickstart something new.
Yeah.
And whether Riddle being out for SummerSlam was part of it or not.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. I think with Triple H in charge, you've seen him renewed Kevin Owens. You've seen Finn Balor pick up wins. We see Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai. We're seeing things. This is pretty much NXT black and gold taking center stage.
Which is what should have been happening from the get-go anyway.
Unless you're Vince Russo. He says not, but that's Vince Russo. We don't need to...
Listen here, bro. I know everything, bro.
I know.
I got Stone Cold over, bro.
He did get Dude Love over. he was one of the...
Bro.
Anyway, so
the best audio you can listen to is Cornette just go off on. If you're ever bored one day, just
those two, man.
Give me a 3-hour long Jim Cornette ripping apart Russo, and I'll laugh every time.
So we did have, speaking of the women, we had Bailey out there, Dakota Kai out there, Io Sky. We also had Trish backing up, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. And Bianca Belair, because we're going to get Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss against Dakota, Sky, and Bailey at Clash of the Castle. We're also having Dakota and Io in the semifinals of the Women's Tag Team Championship. A lot going on with the women. Greg.
So I was going to say, so you got 2 of the 3 pulling double duty for the same pay-per-view, or
there's no. I think they're going to the finals after.
Okay.
I think the finals will be next Monday.
Okay.
Like that Labor Day, probably. Because I would assume
I'm sure we'll touch
semifinals this week. On okay. Side, so.
Yeah, because it's interesting how that could shape up, and I'm sure we'll touch on when we get to SmackDown there about who they're going to face. So that could...
because I don't know why they've been teasing NXT teams, and now they're saying, well, we're not calling up Toxic Attraction. I really do think they'll get called up sooner rather than later.
Well, weren't they in the thing and then a supposed injury?
They were in the thing. Nikita Lyons, and it was supposed to be Nikita Lyons always start. Nikita Lyons is not vaccinated, so she couldn't travel to Canada. So they had to put Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Gigi Dolan got concussed, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, so it could be one of those give them the win just to get the match in, and then
we had SmackDown. The losers of every match in that match. So I'm assuming we'll do it after Clash, since Clash will be this week or next weekend. So yeah.
Okay.
How about this? Bailey and Trish. Any interest in that?
There could be, but it seems like they only trot out Trish Stratus whenever they're in Canada.
Yeah.
So it's not like they ever kind of build anything. It's all of a sudden, hey, we're going to Canada, and here's Trish Stratus.
That's true. We haven't seen her. I'm trying to remember if we had, and again, I can't remember when they were in Canada. We're traveling that. So, I think it'd be interesting. I know we've done Trish and Charlotte, so
Yeah, but
that's probably a closer matchup. I don't know if Bailey and Trish really
I mean, if you
stack
build it
up
up,
against you.
if you build it up right, it could be good. You can always go back to Bailey was the fan and then kind of morphed into her own thing, and now she wants to prove that she's better than everybody.
Yeah, and she kind of brought that up. So, but Dakota Kai, sorry, Io Sky did defeat Asuka and Alexa Bliss, so they'll be on one side of the finals in the women's tag team. Pretty much, Quigs. I'm just calling it. We're going to see Sasha and Naomi
just come back, and we're going to have the
whole,
we just won the titles, and
yes.
my title's better than your title,
yes. and then we'll do the good
the
old
undisputed.
unified. I mean, I say just call it the NXT Women's Championship Tag Team 2 and throw it all together, but we'll see if that happens.
I mean, they should, because how many teams in this are just kind of thrown together? Like Alexa Bliss and Asuka are a tag team now. Like,
yeah,
what did they do anything before?
They've tagged up here and there. Obviously, Dakota and Io kind of got, we do have Aaliyah and Raquel together, Shotzi and Xia Li. So you've kind of, you don't have legit tag teams, I'll give you that. But you at least have women who have teamed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not just one night. Like Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons, that would have been a one-time pairing.
Yeah, this is somebody who's popular and somebody who we just had try to go for the title. Let's throw them
in. And who still sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
Zoe Stark has, there's nothing there.
Just bland.
Yeah, no charisma. I mean, give her a manager or something, but she needs something if she's going to do anything. But they keep pushing her, so whatever. Finn Balor defeated Ziggler. Ziggler's kind of done with Theory already, which I thought was kind of weird because I don't know where that was supposed to go anyway. But good for Finn Balor to pick up a win. I always love to see Finn pick up a win. Any thoughts there with Finn Balor?
I mean, you give him the new stable, you give him the new thing, you give him the new persona, so it's definitely a refresh on the guy. Because even when he got, I'm trying to think here, because ever since they called him up, he's been the same sort of character. They never really.
The first time he's gone heel. Yeah.
Wasn't he heel like when he went back to NXT?
Oh yeah, sorry. In NXT, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm talking like they kind of refreshed him a little bit there, but it was still Balor Club, Finn Balor.
Yeah,
here's my lights.
Like a true kind of different.
Yeah, they 180'd him.
And of course, if we bring up the end of the night, we saw Edge defeat Damian Priest, but Beth came out to the rescue of Edge because Rhea Ripley was going to go after him. So I would assume, I don't know if they're going to throw it last minute, but I'm guessing we're going to get Edge, Mary Mysterio, and Beth against Rhea, Damian Priest, and Finn.
Yeah, and that kind of works away in there too, because I guess they're using Rhea more or less as the bodyguard.
Yeah, I mean, she's just beating up Dominic Mysterio a lot.
And you kind of need somebody to go up there and muscle up against her.
It would be
so
nice
Beth would be
if they did an actual intergender match.
I don't think that'll.
They won't do it, but
that won't fly in WWE. Where
there'll still be Beth will still get a move on Damian Priest behind the ref's back. Rhea will still hit.
Oh yeah,
somehow. So that's always on I get the mix because it's always dumb because when you tag your woman partner, the other woman has to come in. But it's they're both fresh. You know what?
Yeah, and at least with just going off of Rhea, you can believe she can do some of the other stuff, but she does that. She still does that running big boot thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beth probably could handle men. I mean.
Oh yeah, that's what I was like. Beth could probably get Finn up in the finisher, even if it's Priest off a second rope.
She could do the glam slam on. She could
off anything.
On Damien if she wanted to. I mean, she's a pretty.
That would be impressive.
She's got some.
But you just have to worry about his height.
That's true. Yeah.
But on Finn, she could do that on Finn easily.
She could if she can't pick up Finn at this rate when I've seen her workout, then I'm highly questioning her workout scheme. But
and then Rhea can hit the boot on anybody because
what kind of what kind of date night for Edge and Beth if they do end up at Clash at the Castle. They had the Royal Rumble return, and they're like, it's just this is, we're just gonna go on a little another rendezvous, but
it
living
seems
the life. I mean,
yeah. Is Beth still doing backstage stuff with NXT and all that, or is she completely?
She quit or not quit, but she resigned or whatever from the commentary. So she's full out. Just
She's okay.
Mom, or if she like now she's involved with this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I
She
wasn't
just
sure
did
what
it
she
this
was.
past Monday. So
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what she was still doing.
yeah, she did a great job. I mean, I would never thought she'd make a good commentator, but she actually did. I can't recall any good promos from her back in the day, but
you also got to remember too, it was a completely different
that's
thing. Her biggest promos were her biggest promos when things started to change was when they paired her with Santino.
That's true. Yeah.
That's like,
They
oh hey,
finally gave her that.
We'll finally give her a
personality.
microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just big strong woman.
Edge and Beth teaming again. I think they did at Royal Rumble time or ish. So they never thought they would do it again. So it's kind of cool that they'll get to do it. And I'll plug it again. The A&E Legends episode on Edge was really, really awesome to see. And just to think, battling back from what he did.
Oh yeah, like the dude's career was literally robbed from him. He should have never stepped foot back in the ring. But
and I forgot he had the first neck fusion surgery in 2002.
Yeah, like maybe? Real early on.
So the same one Stone Cold had, which retired Stone Cold, I believe.
Yeah, because I remember, because that was when he first started getting his push as a singles, and I think he broke his neck. And I remember, because that was still SmackDown with the Fist stage, they were hyping his return up. So I even remember that return for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I told Greg last week, I was like, man, if there's ever been a time for a 2-time Hall of Fame induction, it's Edge. Like coming back from this and almost a second act, as it were. So
yeah, maybe, but then you have to open that up for Daniel Bryan then too.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, Bryan should probably be in anyway, if you really consider it. But my Mendoza line is Coco freaking Beware. So I mean, if he's in the Hall of Fame, Great Khali. I mean, come on.
Yeah, let's not.
Bryan Danielson should easily be over that. So, but yeah. Kevin Owens, back to NXT. Kevin Owens, he had the legit NXT KO shirt. I mean, just killing dudes. I don't know where it's going to go. I do think, I keep calling it Quigs that when Sami Zayn finally gets taken out by the Usos, it's got to be KO to the rescue.
You think?
I need Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as a tag team.
Or do you think they do the turn again where they fake it and then he just power bombs him on the apron again?
I think they'll give a legit tag team run. I think they're so connected.
Or what if they do a Mr. America type thing with Sammy and they remake him as El Generico again?
You think? I don't know. They brought up El Generico one day on commentary.
That would be funny to
see. So
that would be funny to see.
Maybe Owens sees a mystery partner, and then Sami Zayn just pulls out a mask to do it.
Oh look, it's a masked man.
Generico L.
Or what's trying to think of some other
El Nino.
Los Generic. Yeah. Los Genericos.
But I do want to see. I would like to see Owens and Sami Zayn as a tag team because let's face it, Greg. I mean, Quakes. One of these days, I'll get your name right.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what you get for being the sub in.
I do think, man, when Sami gets taken out by Roman and the Bloodline, it's gonna be like the Godfather-esque. It's gonna be thanks for your services, but you're no longer needed.
And that could set up the next guy for Roman.
Yeah,
it technically could.
Bayley defeated Aaliyah. Good to see Bayley actually, wrestling and back. Good to see that. Any thoughts on Bayley? How she's looked coming back?
Long overdue. I like the fact that they gave her the I wouldn't say the two younger people because they've both been in the business for a while and both in the WWE umbrella for a while. But I guess if you want to,
He's been fighting for them though to get up on the main.
yeah, I was going to say because apparently when she got hurt, one of the people she wanted to come back and work was Dakota. So you have that natural kind of friendship there between the two. So it's kind of cool to bring them back, and it brings up a new team, it brings up a new trio, it brings up a whole new possibilities that you can do with Bailey as the leader of. Have they named themselves yet?
So the rumors are going to be called Damage Control, but
okay, yeah, whatever.
I thought it was an interesting name because if you think that's pretty much Triple H is trying to do to the roster right now after Vince, so
yeah, no,
I kind of dig it, but I can see why people might think it's kind of too much, like too namey. I don't know if that's a word or
I don't know, but
say, you know what I mean. But
or what if this eventually leads to they'll dominate. Those three women will dominate up top, and then all of a sudden here comes Toxic Attraction back with Mandy Rose.
Then that's where I think it should go. So. And of course, we still might get Io and Asuka at some point down the road.
Yeah,
I don't think they've ever faced on one-on-one, on TV yet. So
that would be pretty interesting.
That should be, especially if Triple H says just go out there and do your thing, like let the handcuffs off a little bit.
Go have fun.
Yeah. Definitely kill it, literally. So, yeah. How about the Miz and Ciampa as a team? Have you seen much of them together?
I've seen a few of the Ciampa promos where he hyped
His promos
up.
are ridiculous.
Oh, he's always been great. But he's hyping up the importance of winning matches and how aligning himself with the Miz had catapulted him up into upper echelon, and it's time to win titles. And it's the first step. So Ciampa's just. It's great. I love Ciampa.
You could have Ciampa take out the Miz down the road, maybe as dead weight. You know what? Like you don't necessarily have to have the Miz do the turn, which will seem the easy way. I think you almost do have Ciampa.
Yeah, that would kind of go back into the whole lone wolf.
If they keep losing too, here's Bobby Lashley and AJ Styles by DQ, but
now, do you think they ever go make Ciampa the super heel like they did in NXT, where he doesn't even have music and it's just a shower of booze?
No.
That would be so cool if they could bring that back. Uh-oh. I think we're frozen.
Okay.
Nope, we're back. Okay.
I lost my connection for a minute.
I got scared for a second.
I don't know whose it is. It might be mine, but okay. Whatever. It says of course I'm on Wi-Fi because my computer's all the way over here. Anyways, we're good. Yeah, I think if you're good, because remember the Roman, like, this is my yard, like, quick 4 words after he beat Taker. Like, that was the time, like, if you're going to do that type of stuff, no bells and whistles. I think you would have done that with Roman there. But
okay.
I just hope Ciampa gets a good run. And so far, I mean, after Vince is gone, it feels like he's more connected with what he's doing.
Yeah, and then we're not saying Ciampa's going to go off and be like, WWE or Universal or whatever they decide to rename those titles.
But U.S. title, IC title.
Yeah, I mean, well, the IC titles, yeah, bring back the U.S. or not bring back, but make it relevant again.
Yeah,
and he's the kind of guy that could do it.
I mean, I would like to see him beat Lashley. I'd be fine with that.
And then giving him the U.S. title too, you can link it to the Miz because the Miz was U.S. champ for how long? And,
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think that Miz's first title was the U.S. title.
Something like that.
I guess after tag team. Johnny Gargano back. I was really happy to see that, and he takes out Theory. Not sure, if they'll. I'm curious if Triple H is still high on Theory as Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Theory was the Vince protege from the beginning. It was almost like they were trying to play it off as McIntyre 2.0 as the chosen one.
Yeah. I do think Theory will lose the briefcase and lose his cash in.
Oh yeah, I
think that's pretty easy.
I think that's the only reason he has it. Is
now,
to lose it.
Could you maybe give to Gargano and have Gargano lose that? Then that way Theory can still win the title down the road.
Nah, because I wouldn't want to give Gargano the automatic ticket just to lose it, because then it's Johnny Gargano can't win the big one or can't cash in. and you don't want to start that off already.
That's true, and that would be the downfall.
I mean, at least with Theory, he's still sort of comical relief in a way, if that, from what I understand, and if the rumors were true, with like throwing him into the Money in the Bank, of have him win the briefcase, so that way you're not diminishing any of the other big names that are in there, because at that point, whoever you fed to Roman's just going to kill him.
Yeah.
At least if Theory tried to cash in and successfully cashes in the bell rings, it wouldn't shock you if he got immediately caught up in a chokehold and all of a sudden he's out.
Now they went and like people have brought up, maybe Theory could cash in at Clash at the Castle
and just
after Drew wins, and talk about the heat you would get on that. Like Drew overcoming Roman. I mean, I feel like that'd be too much at one time.
Or do you think he would try to cash in to make it a triple threat like Seth Rollins did?
And then Drew could just be Theory, and then
Drew
Roman
could be Theory, and
Roman is still unpinned but loses the title, which I still think Drew's still got to be the one to do it. Like, there's been too much for him now.
I mean, I feel like I'm channeling my inner Vince Russo, getting everybody involved in gimmicky finishes and all that. But
that's the only downfall. I feel like Roman and Drew needs a, first time, 30 years since been in the UK. I mean, I think we need a legit finish. That's the one thing that I feel like we've had. We've had a couple DQ finishes, but for the most part, with Triple H in charge, matches have gone through commercial breaks. Matches have, some sort of good flow, and I think it needs a legit finish.
Yeah, it definitely needs a clean. It needs some kind of finish, not some kind of cheap, 50-50
anything
thing.
You probably would have to do it on Raw, because then you'd be back in the States too. But
yeah, either way, I do agree. Something with that McIntyre Roman match has to be clean as a whistle, or it's going to end in chaos.
Yeah. Let's talk some NXT. So the big story here, I guess I could have brought up as news, is NXT UK is legit gone. But I thought it was interesting. Tyler Bates said NXT Europe.
Yeah, that's apparently they're trying. I guess UK was too funneled, too niche, and I guess it goes back to Triple H's plan of having an NXT, like an NXT Japan, an NXT Asia. Yeah,
we're playing Risk. It sounds like with wrestling, we're gonna have
And with the first topic you got there with the unification match, I find it funny because apparently NXT UK just announced the championship bracket, and then the week after they did it, here's Tyler Bate with the belt, so they completely ruined their whole bracket.
And it kind of sucks that Dragunov had to relinquish it.
Yeah, because
that was the guy who beat that Gunther.
Yeah,
in a ridiculously good match, and then to kind of have it fall, unfortunately get injured, and I hope he still gets a run on NXT. Get all the way healthy and show up soon.
Oh yeah, he'll probably come back and be once Breaker goes through a few guys, it's be like that belt right there is the belt I never lost type of thing.
And then Braun can go to the main roster, because I think
it's time for him to go.
This time next year, ish, we're talking Braun, probably on the main roster or a little bit sooner. So.
And then we can start calling him Bronson Steiner.
There you go, if they do it. Next up, we had Gallus and Josh Briggs and Jensen. All hell broke loose in this. We had Diamond Mine, we had Gallus, we had Pretty Deadly. So I would assume we're going to get all four of these teams in a title.
Yeah, it's going to be some weird
kind of all the titles. And
yeah, are they just going to? They're just going to unify them all. Then I guess NXT Europe's going to have its own.
Yeah, then NXT, whenever that comes down the road, I would imagine that's still some time away. So I think you could always create titles for them down the road. But at least you're funneling in people you think are ready for.
Could you? Maybe this is going too far down the line for NXT Europe. Could you bring back the European title?
Well, then that's
that would be the big, like, it wouldn't be the kind of joke that it used to be.
TV? Yeah. I don't know. I guess it'll depend on what we. That seems like it makes sense. You feel like you'd have to bring that back in some right, like in some way, right?
I mean,
if you're going to be
even if it's just, even if you do what you did with the cruiserweight title, where it's not going off of the old,
yeah,
where
yes, you're going to bring it as its own.
it's
thing.
going to be its own new
Maybe
thing,
just
but
a
it's
European heavyweight title.
something
So
like
then
that.
we know,
yeah.
like, our European world. I mean, world title sounds oxymoronish, but you know.
Yeah, I think the European heavyweight champion or something like that.
Because apparently Triple H is big on trying to make new title designs.
I heard a rumor that they're looking to redesign all of them.
So you
possibly
wonder if that's down the road. But I would think for now, Worlds Collide. They said Sunday, but I thought I also heard Monday at 4. So I'm not sure when it's going to be. Like, I don't know if it's Labor Day or if it's actually Sunday before All Out. So we'll get more official notice on that. I haven't seen the official time on it, but I would assume, I think it make more sense to do it maybe that Monday, like leading into Raw a little, in a way. I know
maybe
it'll be on Peacock, but it'll give you something Labor Day, some wrestling in the middle afternoon. So
yeah, and that would be a good time to
Dallas,
do it.
Briggs and Jensen. I always want to say Brooks and Dunn for Briggs and Jensen, but Pretty Deadly, and then Diamond Mine. I probably want Diamond Mine to get all the titles because they're looking really awesome.
Yeah, but if you figure Breaker's going to win the UK, are you going to have all
Probably
the
gotta split
NXT
it up.
guys? You can't have just NXT run NXT America run wild on NXT UK.
Yeah, true. Especially, well, maybe with Mandy Rose, I wonder if she loses finally to kind of get, like I said, Toxic Attraction to get the call up to.
Maybe.
Because we did see her and Miko Satomura and Blair Davenport. It's going to be a triple threat for both titles there. And it went surprisingly. They want Satomura maybe to be the one to take out Mandy Rose as like a final boss type deal. And then, somebody could take out Satomura.
And I just saw a promo of hers is like, I've beaten so-and-so, like there's nobody left type of thing. So that would set that up pretty well.
Especially if, like I said, in a month or two, maybe Bailey's crew was running rampant. Boom, you have Toxic Attraction try to come, throw the role. So.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see the Grayson Waller effect? I really liked the different feel to it. Because they had 2 camera angles, so they had him in the ring, and then they also had a close-up on him, and then he had Instagram, like a different type of talk show feel to it.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
But I thought it was, because, we get the same old, here's your talk show, but I liked how they had one legit on his face, then you had the out camera, you had the picture of his face, you had Instagram live going. Pretty much Apollo Crews took him out. Grayson Waller did ask the important question, Quiggs. Where did Apollo Crews' accent go?
Uh-oh. And here's where my accent went.
And he brought it back out, but he said he played it off well. He's like, I had to, think about my future, not my past. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So we get another one of those.
What do you think about Apollo Crews?
I think they sent him up to the main roster way too early, and I think
So this is almost
it's Finn Balor return in a way, but not to the extent. Crews
will get a second chance on the main roster.
Possibly later down the road, but you could build if the plan is to move Breaker up, then you can have Crews try to slide in as the next guy possibly. But I don't know. I think
that title.
At least for the NXT crowd, having Crews down there, that's somebody that at least people know in some way, shape, or form.
I just kind of wonder if he's just there, and then when his time's done, he's done. I mean, I'd be curious to see his contract situation because I know he's been around for more than a cup of coffee. So you would imagine, this whatever contract he's on might be closer to up than we think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. So,
and the NXT guys, I feel like it's really hard to get a word on their, contract status. But how about Cameron Grimes? So we see him beat Javier Bernal, the Dyad wins. The Dyad searching out Cameron Grimes. Would you like to see Joe Gacy and Cameron Grimes kind of team up?
It'd be interesting. I mean, I feel like they've roller coastered Grimes for how long now, so they kind
He
of need
needs it.
he needs something to, and not just wasn't the last one like, when he won the North American title for the second time? It was like for his dad or something.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, he loses it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need something to stick this time, and maybe this is it.
So we'll see. Sorry, Schism. It's so weird. I don't know why they call him Schism, but then they call him the Dyad as a tag team.
Who knows?
They need one name. But anyway. Blair Davenport defeated Indy Hartwell. But, Quigs, we finally got...
We got the closure.
Dexter Loomis.
We got the closure.
For Indy and having to head off into jail for her. So she'll see him when she heads up to the main roster.
Yep. And I think that's coming soon here. But at least, because that was the last real original NXT moment was that wedding. And then all of a sudden... and then everybody just kind of went their own way. And, whether it be cut or called up to the main roster or contract expired. So it was always like, what happened between Dexter and Indy. And
now we got it.
Once he started showing back, you'd be like, okay, finally, maybe, just maybe. And then it finally happened and everybody lost their minds.
What have you thought about him on the main roster? This whole, they're playing it up like he's not a part of it. They rest him. They keep kicking him out.
I like it. It's something different. It's almost kind of like what they did with Elias, where you just kind of, he's in the background, but with Loomis, it's a little more sadistic, and he just abducts people.
Or Bray, when he was first coming back as a Fiend, they always had little puppets of his showing up in segments, like you'd really have to look for it.
Yeah, and then Loomis is just like, oh, there's a dude in a hood.
Yeah. So maybe Adam Pearce finally says, hey, you're getting a match. If you win, you're in. If you lose, you're out. So.
Something like that, yeah. But what if that happens though? Watch it be like one of those 30-second, like he just kind of pops up out of nowhere, throws in the chokehold, and it's done. Just kind of keeping the creepy stalker thing going.
Yeah. Or you could have him lose and then still have him shown back up somehow. Maybe maybe wait till pay-per-view.
Matt Hardy, it basically just keeps showing up.
Maybe he just waits till Ronda keeps showing up. Even though she's supposedly suspended. So,
the fake suspension.
Or maybe Indy gets, on the main roster, something happens to her, and then Dexter comes in for the thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I think that's probably where we're going with that. We kind of talked about, the women's side of the NXT title. What have you thought about Mandy Rose's, transformation over the past year?
It's definitely been a 180. She went from being I'm going to say it this way, but it's going to sound horrible. Yeah, basically. Where she was there just for her looks, and they threw her in the comedy thing with Otis and the whole love thing, and then goes down, changed the hair, gets the whole new attitude. Okay, maybe it's the same thing, but slightly different shade of color, and then. Here comes Toxic Attraction, and now all of a sudden here's this power trio. And
good for wrestling too, if you think about it.
Oh yeah,
maybe she always had this in her, and she's just never got a chance to see it.
Maybe that's a thing too. But I mean, it's been almost, would you call it a career saver?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Dana Brooke. I mean, Dana Brooke is still floundering with Tamina and 24/7 championship. While you have Mandy Rose, literally the top attraction. I mean, I'd argue probably over Braun right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there's a few assets to Mandy Rose that might make her a bigger draw than Braun, too. But, I mean, overall, I feel like her promos come out a little more real, I think. Braun's promos can be, hey, yeah, what, yeah.
I'm Steiner. I yell, let's go.
Yelling,
the old 80s
style. I don't know. And that's probably what it is. It's probably the old school wrestler, which is NXT, prides itself on. But, I think Toxic Attraction is one of the top, viewing make yourself have to watch it segments.
Yeah, and then so like going on earlier too, it's probably their last 2 Raw for NXT before they go up.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they definitely. I mean, apparently the rumor was they were going to get called up. Well, I think we wrote in our head they were getting called up, and I still think they're getting up sooner rather than later. I just can't imagine them needing to be down there right now as well. So, I mean, I know there's, like we said, there is probably an influx of women right now on the main roster, but I still think you could.
And NXT's going to get it too with the merger of the UK. So
yeah, you already have Blair from NXT UK. Whatever women are left.
Sadamoto. I mean, theoretically, you could even send. Dare I still call her Dewdrop or Piper Niven?
Yeah, you could have her go back down.
You could have her go back down.
Her and Nikki. I mean, honestly, Nikki Ash probably needs to go back down.
Maybe, or just have her dump the superhero gimmick.
She's trying.
Or whatever it is now.
It's a superhero without a cape, but she has a leather jacket.
Whatever. But, I never got it. Yeah. I never got
it. Dyad did defeat Legado. I think there's a team coming up soon quick because we already had Santos Escobar lose, so he's out of NXT. So I don't know if you'll do vignettes for him or how you'll call him up, but I think Legado's coming up sooner rather than later as well.
Yeah, probably. They've kind of put them around a few different things down there, though they never won a belt, but it always seems like they were pretty confident in what they could do.
No matter what situation it was. Them is Dominic Mysterio joins in.
Oh, okay.
Turns on his daddy. And
it's kind of
gets a new La Familia.
Or LWO.
Yeah.
Yep. In a way. But
what's funny is they already have Legado shirts like the LWO logo. So there you go. It's already ready. But
that could play into it.
Have you seen anything of Von Wagner?
Didn't they just announce he was getting called up? Or am I thinking somebody else?
He talks like Rob Van Dam, but he sucks. That's my review of Von Wagner.
He talks like RVD.
He really did. Yeah, I was like, I really haven't heard him lately. And I'm listening on Tuesday night. And I'm like, oh my god, why is he talking like Rob Van Dam? Like, maybe there's a reason why, but he's with Robert Stone, which just have Robert Stone talk for him. But Tyler Bate defeated him because Tyler Bate is, UK champion, so he needs to look strong.
Yeah, let me see if I can find what I saw.
Okay. Well, then finally we did have Wendy Chu defeat Tiffany Stratton in a legit lights out match. It was kind of cool. They used it like a dark lighting setup. They brought all the bells and whistles, and Tiffany Stratton had her hair all done up in braids now for some reason. But Wendy Chu is the winner of that. Any thoughts on Wendy Chu or Tiffany Stratton?
I never got the Wendy Chu thing. It's
What's
awkward.
I don't know if you remember, she was actually the Ing Ching character for a little bit. That was with Exile Lee and then whoever that dude was. She legit was the creepy woman that never was seen. That was Wendy Chu, they said. So that's kind of interesting to think how she went from that to this, pajama wearing, sipping on a gigantic cooler or a water bottle, and
Okay, so like the whole kind of, I mean, what was the latest thing with her? She got slammed on a thing of Legos.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think they did something with Von Wagner getting called up.
It could be. I mean,
I gotta.
I feel like we're already floundering though. We already have Veer Mahan as a big man floundering. You already have Almost up there. I mean, do we need Von Wagner up there too? Like,
probably not. But if Triple H wants it to happen, I guess it's going to happen.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, if you find that, just we'll throw it in there. And
yeah, I'm just going through the Twitter real quick.
Yeah.
I thought I saw it. I'm trying to remember if I saw it on Twitter, if I saw it on Instagram. Maybe I made it up. I don't know.
You just made it. Here's some SmackDown stuff, though. Ricochet picks up a good win, defeating Happy Corbin. Any thoughts on Happy Corbin and his downward spiral?
Pat McAfee makes it hysterical. Those are my comments on Happy Corbin.
How about the telestrator?
and this bum right here, and this is what I did. The ref's back was turned right through the uprights, and I kicked him square in the.
He's like, here's
the best.
They gave him that telestrator. I know his job is to break Michael Cole, and he succeeds every time. But I'm glad Ricochet picked up the win too.
Yeah, talk about a guy that they never really kind of gave a chance to, even when he was Intercontinental Champion.
That's what's funny to think. He was IC. He had the IC title. He was North American champion too down in NXT.
Yeah, like he was.
Forget. Karrion Kross had a nice promo from a different vantage point, not in the ring with Scarlett. That's what I think Drew needs to win. I think I'd rather see Drew and Karrion go at it.
Yeah, because if you feed Karrion right to
Roman,
it's over. You can't just do it.
I mean, can
so,
you feed
or watch them do something where Karrion's going to cost Drew, and that's how they're going to end it. I almost guarantee that's how that's going to happen.
Well, like we said, you wonder if there's going to be a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, and I think there is. I think there will be.
Natalya and Sonya Deville defeated all the other teams, but then they ended up losing. So we're going to have Raquel and Aaliyah against Io and Dakota, which it's Io and Dakota's to lose. I don't see any way, shape, or form, especially like I said, if you're bringing Sasha and Naomi back. I mean, you have the Bayley factor in there with Sasha. I just can't imagine Raquel and Aaliyah beating, like I said, unless you beat them and then they lose to Naomi and Sasha.
Yeah, I mean, either way, no matter how it goes down, it's going to be the new champs, and then the old champs come back out. Then where do we go from here? Well, we know exactly where we're going to go from here. So let's just get it on.
How about Sheamus and Gunther's meeting with Ludwig and Butch just brawling the whole time? It's like there's it's like fireworks happening, and you're just like standing there watching or something. Like it's like a World Star video where people are just filming, and you have two guys just rolling, which they'll face each other this week. And then Sheamus and Gunther. My chest is hurting already, Quigs, thinking about that match for Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Is hurting.
That's. I mean, as JR would say, that one's going to be a slobber knocker.
Two bulls just going at it,
and chops and kicks, and it's going to be
a lot of striking.
It's going to be a classic style kind of European match. I feel like a lot of slaps, a lot of chops, some holds.
But I mean, it is in the UK, so
there's
cool that we're really building UK people for this. Big Ben is in there. Sorry, good dropping the thumbs up. Sorry, I wasn't here. Driving for 11 hours. Oh, wow, Big Ben is driving all over the place. I'm sure you caught it, Quigs, when we said Big Ben knows someone who dated Paul Heyman and Triple H. So
you track that person down to see.
We still got to get this elusive woman, because I bet she's got some stories.
I mean, to go from one to the other, like we're talking
late 90s, I believe it had to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, but still though, we were just talking about Paul Heyman and Triple H. Like, you don't get much different than that.
What's this? Oh, they should name the match Ric Flair between Sheamus and Gunther. Yeah, I think we're going to see a chop or two between the two.
Or what? Go if
Ric Flair needs a last match. Maybe Ric Flair could be a three-way. He could get in here.
Maybe. I want to know what the betting partner for BW Sports has the over/under chop at for that match.
Yes, we need to get Raphael on here.
Yeah, we need an over/under like 22.5 chops. Or chest slaps.
Their body is going to be feeling it after this.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't think they've ever met legit. Like, indie wise. I mean, Sheamus has been in WWE forever.
For at least a decade, yeah.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, Gunther is under 30. So, yeah, I think this might be a first time meeting between the two. So that's kind of cool to see those type of matches. How about the New Day, the Viking Raiders? Are we going to get a Viking experience or
the Viking War rating experience?
Yeah, we're gonna get some gimmicky match.
Let's just call it.
Are you over New Day yet?
I've been over New Day for a while, and I've ever since the War Raiders couldn't be the War Raiders or whatever. They were used to be they're War Machine.
War Machine. Sorry.
War Machine.
Yeah.
And apparently Vince's thing was we can't have anything by the name of War because then he could have called them the War Raiders, and I think that would have been fine. But no, we got the Viking experience, and then
at least they gave them the Viking Raiders.
It's still a dumb name. But,
I think Sarah Logan comes back with them because last week we had a mysterious woman show up in their promo. So
could be. And that would be another former NXT person. Yep. So
she can have her baby watch her and his daddy wrestle. We got a lot of parents showing up in Raw, Raw and SmackDown now.
The next one to watch out will be for
Candace.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name there for a second, but she'll be the next one to keep an eye out for.
It was pretty cool. They did a video of her with holding the baby, watching Johnny show up.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, it's just funny to think what in 20 years, like you could have, Bryan Danielson's kids wrestling. You could have the Miz's kids wrestling. We could have the Bella twins. They both have boys. Like there's like some interesting talent.
Yeah, in 20 years, it could be pretty interesting.
Like Roman has kids. Who knows if they want it? I mean, The Rock has his daughter, who's a fourth generation.
The 37th generation of
Samoan.
The Wild Samoans and now we're up to the 63rd cousins of Haku's brother's roommate.
I mean, if you would have told me Dominic would be showing up, I would have laughed in your face. So,
I mean, we still need to get Dominic to embrace his Eddie Guerrero because we all know he's Eddie's
hair.
He's looking more like Eddie than he is Ray.
He does have the mullet like Eddie.
I'm telling you,
throw up that mustache a little bit.
Vicky will finally come out and hit her cue.
You're my son.
You're my son. Eddie was right.
Eddie was right. Papa.
Eddie's your poppy.
That could be a shirt. Eddie is my poppy.
Eddie's my poppy.
Well, nothing beats. Did you see the theory chant where Roman is like, your daddy's gone? And then they start chanting, who's your daddy? Of course, then Johnny Gargano shows back up the next week, so his dad was right there. His dad was already here the whole time.
He was there. Oh, boy.
So, Drew defeats Sami Zayn, but Sami got to join the Bloodline officially. He got to do the one with them.
Until he gets killed. Yeah. Until they hit him with every single finisher in the book.
Did you see Roman was breaking, though, in that promo where he's like, I'm going to do the dancing, I'm going to pack a picnic. I mean, that was like a legit chuckle out of Roman. And then you have Jay in the background, like, breaking character. Like, I mean, I think they're having a lot of fun with it. But, yeah, it's going to be...
That's where we need to get some... Yeah, I was going to jump in there, like, need to get some Botchamania in here. Send for the man. They're corpsing.
When Sami Zayn gets killed by them, though, it's going to be something.
It's going to be violent.
Over. Could Sami maybe cost Roman?
I'm thinking that not for this one. I think this one Karrion's going to screw Drew to lead into that.
Yeah.
And then somewhere that would make sense, somewhere down the line, that Sami cost Roman one of the two titles for whenever they decide to split. And then...
I don't know who's next for Roman after Drew.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think Extreme Rules is in your neck of the woods, though. I think it's coming to Philadelphia.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me because anything extreme has to come to Philly.
I think it's... I'm pretty sure. I'm not... Well, then again, you guys are getting...
Mania.
So maybe it's not going there. But I thought...
Extreme Rules 2022.
Philadelphia at the Wells
Fargo.
Good. So, wow, you guys are getting...
So they're getting that, and they're getting Mania at Lincoln Financial.
Oh, man, we got Crown Jewel after Extreme Rules.
Oh boy.
We're back in Rita.
Oh boy. Call Goldberg.
I think we're on. Call Undertaker. Call Kane. Call Shawn Michaels.
Let's see. I think Kane officially said he's done.
He did get reelected, so yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done. And of course, with some of his comments that he's made politically, I'm sure that they kind of want to stay away from that.
Well, they still have Taker with his multi-million-dollar.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle another match. I really
Actually,
don't.
I do think with Triple H in charge, I know it's probably wishful thinking. I think he does want to get away from maybe
The
other than
one-offs.
like Brock's probably the last remnant of that.
But that's part of Brock's contract, though. So it's not.
I mean, I guess Edge technically too. Where do we put Edge in that type of category?
Not as heavily
He's
as
seen
Brock
more,
because
yeah.
Edge will still do the regular shows and build up the storyline, whereas
Yeah.
Brock's going to show up. You've got Brock for a month.
But I
And
do
then
think
Brock
Brock
goes
is
away
like
for
our
3.
final. Like after Brock is done, I can't. I don't see them relying on much as that era.
Gilbert,
Yes, Gilbert.
Bubba Ray Dudley.
Hanger or Headbangers. Remember they were on a cup of coffee on SmackDown when it was the brand split.
Oh yeah, that's right. They brought him back for like three matches.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
That was like the Heath Slater Rhino deal. Oh man, I will say when the brand split first happened, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
Both sides were really legit, like trying to.
Can we bring Heath Slater back and get a 3MB reunion for this next show?
There you go. Ginger's not doing anything.
I mean, is he still with the Dancing Giant?
He is. As far as Stinky.
Yeah. So yeah, he's doing
interesting.
nothing.
Ever since Triple H has been in charge, we have not seen both of those guys.
Well, yeah, because that's not real shocking.
Yeah. So. Anything else? So Roman knocks down Drew and takes him out and sits on top of it. We are having a tape SmackDown this week since they'll obviously be traveling. I'm going to assume they're traveling Friday to get to Cardiff. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if Raw is taped. I'm going to assume Raw is still live.
No, I think Raw's still live. I think SmackDown's taped because I think during the SmackDown taping, somebody took a photo and Butch looked a lot like Pete Dunne.
Yeah. What? Wait, what? They're the same person?
I know, right? This Pete Dunne guy randomly came out and
they'll be
because he had like the hair off to the one side and he had the singlet on.
Yeah. And
so
it looked like Drew got the better end of Roman that night. So it makes me wonder, like,
maybe
your carrying cross thing might be true.
I don't know.
Drew needs a big win though.
It could go.
That's for Drew. Like Drew has not he's had wins. Yes, don't get me wrong. He's never won anything in front of a crowd.
It could go either way. Like there's so many, and that's part of the joy of watching wrestling is you think you know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And you can sit here and we can say, I'm a better writer and producer, and Karrion's going to come out and set up things between Drew and Sammy's going to be the comedic relief for the bloodline, but that's going to begin the crack in the bloodline because Sammy's going to cost the Usos one of the tag titles when that splits, and
But yeah, just with all the build they've had for Drew, it's like, man, this has to be the one because he got screwed. He beat Brock in the Performance Center.
I still don't think though you have somebody beat Roman for both at once. I think if you want to split the belts up, you have to have one lose before the other. And you can't just be like, and we're going to take one of those from you and give it to that guy.
Oh yeah, we're not pulling a Triple H.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to go.
That was my least favorite run of Triple H's.
We're going to take the one belt and.
Yeah, you got Big Goldie. What they call.
Oh, when they brought that one back, yeah.
Yeah, the whole
the Lemmy.
Yeah,
the Lemmy.
That run for him. I mean, he just.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. The Lemmy's just going with the chops.
Yeah, he had whatever he had.
He had the Fu Manchu.
I think it was like pre-evolution maybe, or right after evolution. But he just That run, I think even he had to. That was like Stone Cold's heel run. Like that has to be his least favorite run, I would say. So,
Probably.
don't ask Booker T that.
Yeah, let's not get into that one.
So, anything else from SmackDown? I'm trying to think.
I'm thinking if you're gonna have Raquel go up against Dakota in the finals, I wonder if they're gonna try to plant something there, but it's still too early in the Dakota EO Bailey trio to.
I don't see any. I think
It would be cool, but it's too early to hint the.
I would like them to at least mention it on commentary. That's the one thing. It's always interesting how they're like, we're going to drop some NXT stuff sometimes, but then other times we're like, where did this guy come from? I don't know where. Even though we just saw.
Or they say they've had a history outside of WWE.
But it just means NXT.
Yeah. So they'll probably allude to that, and I still don't understand why they changed Raquel Gonzalez to Rodriguez.
Other than
Double R.
Another name gimmick just to give her a new name.
At least she kept her last name.
That's true.
She's just not Raquel.
Yeah, she's not just Raquel.
Yeah, just Raquel.
The word is Theory might get Austin back, so we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, Theory needs his first name back.
I always thought Andrade just needed Andrade.
That's fine.
Because I could never.
I mean, his name was way too long. Andrade Cien Almas. Yeah. Like, okay, we get it. And now he's El Idolo. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But
I bet he took Charlotte's name when they got married.
Nah. Maybe in gimmick. If Ric Flair comes out, I want to introduce the newest Flair to the world. Yeah. Andrade.
They did wrestle together at his last match.
Yeah,
second to last match. Sorry.
Yeah, apparently he's already saying he wants to do one more, and after he blacked out twice in this last one, it's like, come on, Rick,
he did something.
Ric Flair's last match was against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. What was that? 24. That's Ric Flair's last match, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like CM Punk saying he left wrestling and came back.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into AEW because there are things. All right, let's just get right into it. Wigs, CM Punk, Moxley. Like
that's the one.
So we have Moxley defeat Punk. I mean, quickly.
Was it a quick one?
The gimmick was Punk kicked Moxley in the head, injures his foot.
Was it?
Then of course, then Moxley hits the paradigm shift and it's over.
Okay, because I saw the kick and I was wondering if that was the injured foot was the one that he kicked with or the one that he planted on, because he grabbed the one he planted on, which was his left. I don't know. I don't know if he was supposed to grab. I don't know which one. I'm not that deep into it. I don't know which one he was supposed to grab. Okay. Because, I mean, if the injury is legit, the injury is legit. But, like, you can't say, oh, he re-injured the foot when it was his right foot, when it makes more sense for him to re-injure the right foot because that's the one that he kicked him in the head with.
So, either way.
I don't know.
So I don't know what we're all out.
So it was injury finisher 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it was paradigm shift. It's over. All those both titles.
Huh.
No MJF out. Like, that was what me and Greg kept saying. Like, MJF probably had to come out.
I heard that too, because going into, I guess their AEW's ratings are starting to slip a little bit, and with their contract talks coming up for
if
TV.
If you do it again, you have to have some like stipulation, like if Punk loses, he can't challenge again, right? I mean, I guess you got to play up something, but then what is there for Moxley? Like, I feel like you got to give odds for both. Give some.
No, I think Punk's going to be done for a little bit.
So Moxley doesn't defend it at all out.
I don't know.
That's
I mean, because
could you do an open challenge and MJF answers it?
That would be a very Moxley thing in character to do. But then would you bring MJF out to just get smacked?
Or I'm wondering, Punk loses and turns heel in Chicago.
So that would be interesting because
I mean, we haven't seen a heel-esque Punk yet.
MJF comes back. They do the match between Punk and Moxley again. They go, and Moxley's, we'll have a Chicago street fight or something, since we're in Chicago. And it's going to be the reverse. It'll be all of a sudden, lights go out. There's MJF, and both of them are like, oh, crap. MJF kicks Moxley in the dick. Punk hits the GTS 1, 2, 3.
Wins with the help of MJF somehow.
Yeah, and then it's Punk and MJ.
And plus, if MJF knows he could beat Punk.
So I'm just thinking though, just kind of trying to harp back because you had that really good storyline between MJF and Punk, where MJF looked up to Punk as the hero, and all this kind of stuff, and what if the hero falls? And
maybe Punk doesn't want to necessarily beat Moxley with the help of MJF, but does it anyway.
Yeah, more or less like, oh, here's my opportunity to get it back, so he just does it.
Yeah.
So I highly doubt that scenario is not likely going to happen, but it could be.
I was kind of curious, though, what a Punk heel turn in Chicago might do.
Would it work? Would it work either way because he's so over in Chicago?
Well,
Chicago's going to just blow up for Punk.
Win if he wins. No matter what.
They're gonna cheer no matter what.
He do a low blow. Maybe if it's a straight up match, maybe Punk does a low blow or does some sneaky.
He'll probably do something like that, but it's not like Chicago's gonna boo him. Chicago's the one town Punk will never be booed in.
That's all. I was curious, like how you could turn him.
What if
you need to do something?
What if they go a little bit longer and then during a double down, Colt Cabana comes out. Beats up Punk, and then you get Punk versus Colt Cabana.
Hangman Adam Page in the cage because Bernie's the middleman there.
Maybe. Oh, did you see?
I do think Punk and Moxley happens again because I don't know where else you go for Moxley at all out, and we're not going to have the title defended.
Yeah, it's something.
You don't have anything else really that would.
Would you try to do, because I guess the only one in that group without a belt now is Danielson. Would you try to have a inner club match between Danielson
and Jericho?
He's what?
So it's Danielson and Jericho at All Out.
Oh, okay. So that's
already planned. For the custody of Daniel Garcia in a way.
Oh, can we throw Dominic in here too?
Yeah, we need Daniel Garcia in a shark cage. No, so the beginning. So we had Garcia and Bryan Danielson put on a ridiculously good match, 2 out of 3 falls where Danielson won, and he put out the hand to Garcia, and Garcia started to shake, but then you had Jericho take out Danielson, and then you had the tease of, is Garcia going to side with Jericho or side with Danielson? Because I think ultimately Garcia will join BCC.
Okay.
He's a wrestler. He's not a sports entertainer.
Yeah. So
I'm wondering if, maybe Bryan Danielson wins. Jericho goes to take him out afterwards, and Garcia just comes to the rescue of Danielson. And then that's how Danielson and Garcia get, they go back off together.
And then would you have kind of Daniel Bryan be the quote unquote coach between Yuta and Daniel Garcia?
Yeah. Well,
Moxley.
You have plenty of coach. Yeah, you have Moxley, you have Garcia, you have Yuta.
I mean, because Rigo's more or less like the manager per se. Like he's the microphone guy,
a spokesperson.
Yeah. You could have Danielson morph into what the Arn Anderson character was a little bit as a part of the family. Yeah, he just sits there, kind of like he's the guy with all of the knowledge. Like he's the
RK-1,
knowledgeable
Danielson
one,
and Garcia did tag team for a little bit.
which would make sense too. That way they
Wheeler
can go
Yuta's
for
already got the ROH
pure
title. You have
Claudio
Moxley
Scott.
Undisputed. You have Claudio ROH. So
that would
they want tag team gold.
And that would give them all of the gold.
If they get, they can get ROH tag team. Hell, FTR has every tag team. They got AAA. They have the ROH. They have the all elite. They have the elite, all elite wrestling title. Or no, they don't. Sorry,
they have NJPW.
Yeah, they have New Japan. That's right. New Japan, AAA, and ROH.
Oh, jeez. And then the ROH Trios title are still a thing.
And then you bring that up. So now we have
the
Aussie
AEW
and Ospreay and Aussie Open defeat Death Triangle. So we're gonna have Aussie Open or United Nations, I think is what they're called, going against the Elite. On one side, you have Dark Order and who else on the other side?
Is it Adam? Is it Hangman?
No, it was 10. Is their trio?
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering if you play him up getting hurt and maybe Hangman goes in there.
So are these trios title for AEW like eating up the Ring of Honor ones, or the Ring of Honor ones still around?
They're still Ring of Honor because Dalton Castle and his two boys have the Ring of Honor trio.
So Ring of Honor has its own trios belts, and then the mothership AEW is going to have its own. Okay, that's too many trios.
It's a lot of damn titles.
Yeah, really. They need to like get the ROH people back on their own show.
Yeah,
it's getting a little out of hand.
Let's see. What is I'm trying to think of what the finals will be.
I also find it funny too that AEW has the All Atlantic Championship, and they have Japan's flag on there, which is in the Pacific. I find that comical.
I guess because maybe you're going to take the long way to Japan. You're going to fly across the Atlantic.
Still doesn't matter. You're going to have to go across the Pacific at some point.
You're never going to touch it.
You're never going to. Yeah. How do I get to Japan without touching the Pacific?
I really didn't understand. But yeah. Why can't I find that? I was trying to see who was left in the trios tournament for this one. I mean, by producer, right? Because we had Dark Order win.
All right, so you've got United Empire.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay, so Ospreay and Aussie Open.
Yeah,
you've got the Elite. You got Dark Order.
Best Friends.
And the Best Friends.
Because my dark horse would be the Best Friends.
Yeah, I like the Best Friends.
I would love to see them get it, but it's either going to be the Elite or United Empire. It's probably going to be the Elite.
Yeah, probably because Omega's the third guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I'd like to see maybe Preston 10 from Dark Order goes down with an injury. Maybe Hangman has to step in there, and maybe he just ends up costing the Dark Order.
That would be interesting.
So yeah.
And then would you begin the whole Hangman thing? Can't win the big one, or he lets his friends down type thing again?
The Elite. He's just with the Elite. I think you want the Elite all back as one.
Okay.
So Hangman, Omega, and then Young Bucks. That's
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I think. Because then you could still have the Adam Cole with Undisputed guys at some point going against whatever trio combination you want.
Okay. Yeah,
but Hangman back with them, I think, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Even though part of me wonders, quick, could Hangman be on his way out?
I mean, all those contracts are starting to come up, aren't they?
Could Hangman be the falling Cody Rhodes?
That would be really interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
because it is coming up to the time where all of those original contracts.
I think most of them have 5-year contracts, but I could be wrong.
Or 3 or 4, yeah. Because I think the only
I know a lot of original AEW people have 3 to 4, but I think they gave them 5 years. Because I wonder if that went with the TV deal.
That might have been with the TV deal. because I think Jericho's was a longer one. I think Cody might have had the shortest one.
Yeah, it went,
Well, yeah, he would have had the shortest one. Yeah,
I kind of wonder if Hangman might be that first to jump.
I mean,
he's never tasted it, you know.
Yeah, minus and Cody's there. It's not like you're going in completely blind.
I mean, I would still like the Young Bucks to do it, but
they'll never go.
And I don't think Kenny will.
Nah. I mean, even back when in the Indies, they would never go to WWE. They would make more money out on the Indies because they have control of their own merch.
They were talked to Triple H a few times.
I mean, they'd be foolish not to.
Yeah, at least entertain it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go out there and completely, turn your back. I mean, that's just business-wise. Yeah. And we're not talking wrestling business. We're talking about literally the business of making money. Like, that's
Which
just
brings up Gallows and Anderson because they're apparently free agents. Do you think they somehow repair that bridge?
Nah, but then you're going to get the whole... Well...
I mean, AJ's still there.
I mean, my thing has always been I've wanted to see Bullet Club like a Bullet Club. What's the word I'm looking for? Power struggle between Balor and Styles and Gallows and Anderson. I mean, I've always wanted to see that.
We never saw Balor with Gallows and Anderson.
No, you just always got the hints.
We had Gallows and Anderson with AJ, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing beats when they were like, beat up John Cena.
Yeah, they were the club.
So,
and then the only time that they interacted with Finn, I guess, was at like a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania.
We did have Finn and AJ fight one. I think Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's
it was going to be Finn. It was going to be Finn and the Demon. Or sorry, Finn and Bray.
And then Bray got hurt.
I think COVID or whatever he got.
Something.
It ended up being AJ.
And they all did
tweeted together. So
they always dropped the hints, but they never did it.
I don't know. I could see something. I mean, especially if AJ's on his last run, why wouldn't Gallows and Anderson go back there and make their money? Now that Triple H, now could there be with Triple H stuff? Maybe he talked there. I
mean, just have Gallows go back and be Festus for old times. I want to see some Festus.
I would like to see Carl Anderson get a real singles run, though. He's pretty legit on his own.
Yeah, but his whole claim to fame has always been the tag team, though. And I think it'd be
like FTR. Have you seen Dax Harwood in one-on-one matches lately? Because man, I did not realize he'd kill it one-on-one.
I haven't seen it, but I was going to say when he had to go on his own for a little bit there, everybody was praising about how he was able to maintain the singles.
Got legit metal like in his arm that sliced up in his arm and possibly went into nerves.
Ugh.
They weren't sure. But Jay Lethal defeats Harwood, where we finally get Motor City Machine Guns. Because FTR has wanted to go after them for a while. So I think we're going to get Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns against FTR and somebody. Or we'll get FTR against Motor City Machine Guns down the road. They always wanted to go after them. Colton Gunn defeated Billy Gunn. Pretty much, Quigs, I'm seeing Billy Gunn crawling into Triple H asking for a job soon.
Yeah.
Because Road Dogg got a job there. Shawn Michaels has a job there. I don't know if Big Sexy will get a job there. He has a cannabis job right now going.
Yeah, he ain't doing anything.
So I think Billy Gunn might be on the.
So Daddy Ass is on the way out. Wow.
Yeah, he's not going to get scissored. He's not going to get scissored anymore by the Acclaimed. They said they're still trying to get them on a shirt. Scissor me, Daddy.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Oh my, yeah, that's gonna.
Val Venus got some shirts out there,
but that was also the 90s.
What was this? Cocked and loaded with a certain type of font.
Yeah, and he also finished every match with the money shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God.
But then Beaver Cleaver never got on TV.
Yeah. Whatever.
Or did he get on one episode? I think of Raw. think it was one, and then they cut him.
Yeah, because they realized it was such a.
That was too risque.
And then Mama Cleavage or something?
Yes, it was Mama Cleavage.
Yeah, Jesus. Vince McMahon, you know what'll bring ratings?
Hey, but we'll cut off. We'll chop a pee.
Yeah. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. They're gonna chop his pee, JR.
And of course, Mark Henry's running
sexual
with,
chocolate in the baby.
What was the transsexual Charlie or something like that.
I was thinking Mae Young and the baby.
Yeah, Mae Young, yes.
And the hand.
There was also China was hooking him up with a trans woman at the time. Yeah. Oh man.
I think I had an idea of who wrote those storylines, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Britt Baker won. We did bring up Thunder Rosa has to. By the way, can Thunder Rosa never get like an in-ring promo? Like, do they not trust her, or what was the deal with that? I never understood why.
I don't know. Like, she speaks English, doesn't she?
Yes, yeah, she speaks fine. I mean, not any worse than Andrade. Like,
I don't know.
That always bugged me. Like, somebody timed it out. They gave her a 30-second segment to announce she was relinquishing the title, whereas CM Punk got a full 8 minutes from his entrance to the, announcing he had to step down for a little bit. Like, it took 8 minutes for that segment. So, yeah. Somebody has it out for her.
Maybe, or they just don't trust her, which doesn't make any sense.
Because she has Tony Schiavone interview. He was always doing the interviewing. So, like, I would think he could cover up, out in the ring if she needed to. But
you'd think, but maybe somebody in the back's just a little. I mean, who's the main producer of the women's segments? Is it?
I mean, I thought it was Kenny, but
yeah, that's what I thought too. Because that's when
Kenny's been injured so long. I would think rehab and whatnot.
Was it because Kenny was the producer of it when Sheeta and
here's the big Joe Sheet.
And
he really wanted those New Japan girls.
Yeah, and I remember they pushed them hard
Rio,
early in the beginning.
Sheeta,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
M.A. Sakura. Asia Kong was there for a little bit, like a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Because Karma, whatever her real name,
yeah,
Aja Kong, whatever, or Karma, whatever her name is. There was quite an influx of Japanese women, and I think that was his doing. So, I mean, it's still weird to think Rio was our first AEW women's champion.
Yeah, that's. I never bought that. No. And of course, didn't she beat Nyla Rose?
Yeah.
So they literally did the David Goliath.
Yeah. Nyla eventually won it, I think.
What was that?
Nyla eventually won it.
Did she? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, then
I think
Sheeta beat her.
Yeah.
And then Britt beat Sheeta. And then Rosa beat Britt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, I guess hot topic question: who do you think has been the best AEW women's champion?
Britt. It's Britt. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's held it the longest.
Until Jade gets it.
She was the most credible.
Jade is coming for it sooner rather than later, too.
Who is?
Jade Cargill.
Oh, yeah, eventually. But do you think...
She's got to get to 50 and 0 first.
I thought they got her to 50 already.
She's 32, 33 and 0 right now.
Okay, well, let's just Goldberg this thing and just say she got 50.
175. Oh, yeah. Wait, it's 260.
I just heard Goldberg's streak just went up to 1,385 and a third.
Curtis Axel is still in the Royal Rumble.
Damn right he is. Got screwed.
He's got a producing job. I saw him one day in one of the pull-out brawls. He's back there still. So.
Good for him.
Good for him, yeah. And how about Ospreay? Have you seen much of Will Ospreay?
I've always seen like the bits and pieces, but that dude can go. Yeah. Anything I've seen of him.
Too choreographed, but I mean, wrestling sport.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, especially the first one. If I'm thinking correctly, it was him and Ricochet that did the 45-second.
Yeah. Oh, they kept
flippy over each other, kick, suplex, run back up, suplex,
rope,
like double flip.
When Pac does his like some of his moves take like 45 seconds to pull off from the top rope, and you have the two guys just standing there. I get that.
Yeah.
But Will Austin, I think he's the real deal, like you said. I think him and Omega have some legit beef too. I'm like, who's the best wrestler? So it'll be kind of cool to see them go at it.
Yeah, and is Ospreay under AEW contract, or is he?
No, he's under New Japan.
So okay, so he's still so they're still working together with that.
United, or is he the heavyweight? He's some title holder. Guess you could
Let's take a look.
You could be a research extraordinaire. Because I thought he just won something.
He's the current IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion.
United States, okay. Because Jay White is the...
Yeah, Jay White's the main title.
I would like to see Jay White back in AEW.
Yeah, I was going to say, they brought him in for a literal cup of tea.
Because of the Forbidden Door.
Oh, so that was the first kind of...
Yeah.
So get him a little bit of exposure, then he goes and wins the big belt.
Yeah. He won it right before, I think. He beat Okada. Because then Okada was in that title match with Hangman and with Adam Cole. Hopefully Adam Cole's okay soon, because he's been hurt for a little bit of time.
Was he? I think he'll be fine. They'll just rest him up a little bit. I mean, he's a guy, too, you can even just trot out there to talk on the mic for, 5 minutes.
Especially if we're having, now that we have Omega back with the Elite. So.
Yeah. They have no shortage of guys who can talk on the mic.
We haven't done Red Dragon and the Young Bucks yet. So that's something that we need to visit.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought they already hinted at that blow up.
They did blow up.
They did blow up?
Because the trios, because they were saying...
That's right, yeah.
Adam Cole's like, if I'm not medically cleared, I'm not winning with, these guys. So, I am winning it with these guys or something.
Yeah, they're my boys.
Yeah, he wanted to win it with them. So, that's why I think the Elite wins it, because then you have...
And then he set that up with...
themselves, Red Dragon and Adam Cole. I guess they're just calling themselves Undisputed. Just take it off the era part.
They're calling or just call them the era.
There you go.
The era.
The era of Undisputed.
The era of Dragon or something.
There you go. Some other things. So, like I said, this is what happened on Rampage, the Dark Order one. So they're moving ahead. What about Wardlow? Any thoughts on Wardlow? Are you a fan?
I'm liking it so far.
He's a guy I thought would
feed him
to WWE.
Actually, it's kind of smart for him to just stay in AEW, just keep building the name up, and then demand more money. Yeah. So I like it.
Again, without Vince there, maybe he won't jump as quick.
Maybe,
but Triple H is big on
on single move dude to destroy people.
I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs, we got him and Ricky Starks headed for battle. Did you like the breakup of Team Taz, or have you seen the breakup of Team Taz?
I saw a little bit of it. I saw the backstage thing where Taz is like, Hook's seen this title on my wall for years, and he knows everything that was
really good.
Everything it represents and all of this.
Yeah, so Hook's the champion, Ricky Starks is the face, Powerhouse Hobbs.
It feels like they did a good turn with Ricky there being the face, because
everybody ended up okay.
Yeah.
One of those random times, you think a group breaks up and not everybody gets equal footing.
Yeah. And Ricky's out there doing the, I always give it my all. Sometimes I don't come out on top, but I'm still the best at what I do, blah,
and
blah,
he got
blah.
beaten up by, unfortunately, QT Marshall's little action.
Yeah.
At least Anthony Ogogo was going to land the punch, but then QT Marshall had to do the punch.
Of course.
The ring, so,
the Job Squad 2.0.
I don't know if they're the job that they don't even job out, so they're just on TV sometimes. So
they're just calling the squad.
Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello won. They have some intergender tag team titles.
Isn't that the AAA belts?
Yeah. What do you think about them?
A little overplayed.
The
romance? Yeah, the romance thing. It's a little overplayed. I get it. You guys are married now, but,
Well, that was the thing. I think, and I think it's real life, it's real life stuff. I
Yeah,
think people
they're
are
real
really,
life. They are real life married.
yeah, but I
I
meant
did
they
see
were
that.
showing it on. Um, they brought their relationship, I think, out to the public way too much. I think that's what has rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah,
If
and
that,
which it got heat, so it worked.
yeah,
But you know,
because it
I,
still seems weird. Like you had Sammy engaged to his previous fiance on TV, and then all of a sudden they call it quits, and then like a week later or 2 weeks
oh,
later
it's
he's with,
Tay.
yeah, now he's with her, even though they said they're just friends.
There was a little more than just friends going on.
And I mean, she insists, and I guess maybe I'm trying to read too much into it, but she insists, there's nothing between the two, and it just happens. But I think then they had to go into it because, like you said, they made it so public. I
Yeah,
mean,
and then nothing gets past the internet when they're
you
calling
almost
out
had to
on
just feed
BS.
into it. So, and
Which
then Claudio did defeat Dustin Rhodes.
shocking nobody.
I do like this is Claudio's first ever ROH world title. So that's kind of cool because I mean he was always there with Seth and Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels. So I think Nigel McGuinness back in the day. So I think he was always kind of that second tier guy. So
Yeah.
cool that he finally gets. And like we said, until ROH has some sort of weekly thing, even if you just put it on YouTube, I don't know when we'll get another ROH pay per view.
Yeah, I think the ROH has to be like a YouTube kind of special, not make people pay for it type of thing.
I would have replaced Dark with it, like Dark and
Yeah,
Elevation. Just give ROH that time.
yeah, that would be best. And then you can have the AEW those AEW talent go work Ring of Honor.
Yeah, or if you have, I mean, yeah, or you just have it not on you. I guess you have maybe Dark and Elevation go together. You just have I mean, you already have thousands of matches for them anyway. So
what wouldn't work for Ring of Honor though is doing what they used to do, where it would be the pay-per-view onlys. Like that's not going to fly.
We need some sort of storyline. Yeah,
or not even just storyline, just for the fact of it. You need to make people watch it first.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so you need to get it out there.
You need to know the characters too, because you're essentially rebranding. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. AEW's got a lot on their plate right now. Trying to shuffle that.
Apparently, do you buy much into the Tony Khan starting to lose it a little bit? Rumors.
I think when you see his press conferences, yeah,
like it's finally starting to catch up to him. Like this ain't exactly what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I mean I hate it because obviously you don't want it to fail. I think there are people out there I think that want it to fail, but we obviously want it to succeed because we need that alternative. I mean, Impact Wrestling's there, but I think Impact is doing their own thing legit, and that's probably what AEW should have done. Kind of rode your own boat and worried about the competition later on.
Yeah, Impact finally got smart and did that.
Impact took feels like ECW of old.
Yeah, it took Impact like 15 years to finally figure it out.
Because people speak high of Impact Wrestling right now. I still can't get into it, but
yeah,
I mean, I feel like it's enough to try to keep up with some of this.
I don't even know what channel they're on. I don't have cable anymore, so it's not like I can.
They're on Access, is my understanding.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's the Mark Cuban channel, I think.
But even Access, it's only available through cable, or if you have. Yeah, I don't even think it's an app. So, even if you had a TV service, I use my family's login to watch all my TV apps so I can keep up with USA and keep up with TNT.
Yeah.
And CBS. But even Access is not available that route. So,
they've carved out their own little niche.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, and I'll follow it when they have a pay-per-view. I'll just get on Twitter and scroll through if I need, But like you said, I think they kind of had their own little bubble, which is probably what they needed to do, like you said, years ago. But they kind of started it.
I mean, because they did have their bubble. They were good in their bubble. And then they tried to do the weekly program, and then didn't quite work out, and then they couldn't recover, and then there was a little bit more steam, and then they couldn't recover, and now it's just like get new owners in there, get Dixie Carter
Sounds like
out.
Scott D'Amore is really everybody likes him.
Yeah, and aren't they based out of Canada now too? Okay, I thought that might have been a thing.
I thought it was interesting though because Ethan Page has moved here from Canada, and I think other people from Canada have moved here to make it easier to travel. So
okay,
I
so
wonder,
probably not out of Canada then.
maybe not. I don't know, but I will say a cheap plug: Pluto TV. I don't know if you've ever heard of this app. It has
I watch it all the time.
Has an Impact Wrestling channel.
Yeah,
So 24 hours a day.
and they do all the pay-per-views.
There might be a pay-per-view. There was NWA, like when they were original. There was TNA. There's Impact episodes. So it's kind of a random. You never know what you're going to get, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and it's funny kind of going back and seeing guys that you forgot were there.
Yeah,
for a little bit, like before they got bigger, like
P.D. Williams.
Yeah, P.D. Williams or an Austin Aries or. Well, Aries everybody knows Austin Aries now, but
there's another guy that they Mama Luca, I think they were talking up. I remember seeing him show up in my Twitter feed about.
Ron Killings used to be out there.
He did. He was the NWA champion
at one point. I can't believe that dude's been in the business for seems like 40 years now.
I mean, he was with Road Dogg when Road Dogg was first around. That's hard to believe because he was a roadie. He was a roadie with Road Dogg. So, all right, let's get into my last. We'll do one last commercial break, and then we'll get our last call. Kind of a fun little question I was thinking about with Clash at the Castle and different venues we could host stuff at. So let's get some realty talk, and then we'll get into our last call question.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dan over at BWSPORTS1.com and Black and White Sports. And I'm wondering if you're ready to buy or sell that home, now's the time, and I got just the person for you. Mr. Sean Nugent, a.k.a. Rockstar Realtor himself. 317-503-8322. Put that home on the market. Get into your dream home with this man. Talk to Sean at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322, and make sure you tell him the boys over at BWSports1.com sent you.
So here's my question, Quig. With Clash at the Castle happening in Cardiff, Wales, and it seems like it's really going to be a cool, unique-looking venue. Is there any venues out there that we could think of that might be a cool venue or site for like a WWE, AEW wrestling event that we haven't visited? Like, for example, I was like Spain. I'm sure there's some cool venue in Spain that we could do.
Would have been the Roman Coliseum.
I joked about that. I'm like, could we do a USC? Like, could we do an event at the Coliseum there?
Yeah, I was chuckling going to say best venue, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
There you go. Or Hammerstein. Like Hammerstein Ballroom, and do like an old school.
That would be cool.
There.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think.
But I thought some European, like Paris. I don't know what is in Paris, but like
put them underneath the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, just
have a guy jump off of like one of the legs of the Eiffel Tower.
Shane McMahon.
We'll just throw Sting up there. Have Sting jump off the Eiffel Tower.
Or like we had the Japan event. The Beast in the East on 4th of July. That was a cool one.
That was pretty cool.
Crown Jewel was in Australia that one time. They had a venue there. So I would like to see Spain or
maybe Brazil where they've got the Jesus kind of statue.
Like Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it's South America because when's the last time they've been to South America for anything?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think here. Maybe they've done Mexico, I think.
Yeah. I can't think of any U.S. areas that might have been untouched.
Yeah, that's hard. Unless you
want to Rushmore. Could we do some outdoor event? Like
Sturgis. Yeah, with WCW went out
for Bash at the Beach. They used to do like a beach venue. That was kind of cool.
I'm trying to think something overseas. Put him in Venice, Italy. Have the ring float there,
There you go.
and
Well, do a little Pope mobile. Maybe everybody
put
can
him in the
come out
Vatican.
everybody can come in the Pope mobile.
Put him in.
Well, how about this? What's been the best venue you've seen an event at? Is it at somewhere in Philadelphia, or have you seen?
My events have been pretty slim. I saw old back when ECW was touring with SmackDown.
Okay.
I saw Sabu jump into the crowd in front of me onto Rob Van Dam. That was in Hershey at the Giants Center.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to go, but when I was out at IUP, TNA came into town when Kurt Angle was still the champion into the basketball arena, so I didn't get a chance to go to that, but that would have been cool.
I will say the most unique here in town. One time ECW had to run a venue at the Murat Theater where concerts are usually held. That's the event where Mike Austin was the ECW champion, but it was going to WCW. Taz.
Oh, that was that night.
Yeah, that was here in town.
The WCW contracted wrestler with the ECW belt dropped the belt to the WWE contracted wrestler. Yeah.
But my best venue is Mercedes Superdome. I've seen 2 WrestleManias there, and man, that venue is awesome.
Which Superdome?
30, the Mercedes-Benz in New Orleans. Sorry.
Okay, I was thinking because they have the one in Atlanta. They call it.
Oh, they do have that one, don't they? Now.
Yeah, there's
Is that
2.
The old Georgia Dome.
It took the place of, yeah.
I would think that'd be cool to do.
Because they have the roof that opens and everything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mercedes. Sorry, in New Orleans. So I've been to WrestleMania 30 and 34 there, and that was really cool.
I was going to say if they could ever go back to MSG.
Oh god, yeah.
That would be just.
I like the United Center, like do an intimate show there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Chicago. That was WrestleMania 22 there.
If you could
Rosemont, sorry.
If you could reconstruct it again, the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah, you could build that from the ground up.
Yeah, build it back.
Well, that's here. So we had WrestleMania 8 here in Indianapolis. We had that at the Hoosier Dome, which is of course no longer.
I don't think. I was going to say because the only big things I can think that Pennsylvania ever kind of hosted, Mick Foley went off of the Hell in a Cell in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that was King of the Ring.
Yeah, or was it King? It's the one that Undertaker threw him off and then chokeslammed with
King of the Ring.
Yeah, so that one was in Pittsburgh.
Because that was still. What's funny is Kane and Stone Cold had to wrestle after that.
Yeah,
that was. I think they had the first blood match.
Oh yeah, where
Kane won
off the botch or whatever. Yeah, they had to call it.
Kane won it for 24 hours. He lost the next time.
Which always meant looking back, how is a dude in a mask gonna bleed?
Well, that's the thing. That's why Vince booked it.
Jeez. Trying to think.
Have you? So you've had Extreme Rules there, though, haven't you?
Yeah, that's been at the Wells Fargo. They probably did. They used to run some old events out of the Spectrum.
And then was it ECW there quite a few times back in the day?
That was the old. They used to run ECW out of the old 2300 arena.
Yeah. Is that in Philadelphia?
Yeah, that's what was that on the corner of? That was like in the middle of the city.
Okay.
That's on. Come on. South Swanson Streets. Yeah, I think that's literally in like the middle of the city.
What is it now?
2300 Arena. I mean, they still do stuff there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, originally known as Viking Hall, been named the Alhambra Arena. It's unofficially known as the ECW Arena. So, and later XPW.
Or Disney World. Can we do an event at Disney World?
Well, if you believe the rumors from Paul Heyman, Disney was originally set to buy at ECW at the end.
I don't know if I believe a lot of stuff that Paul Heyman says, but
yeah, I don't either.
He probably could sell what do they say? A bridge to you. Here's a bridge to sell. So, yeah. And I'm still vouching for WrestleMania to come back here, but I joked, I'm like, our stadium's probably not big enough now.
Yeah, you need a football stadium.
Well, we do. We got Lucas Oil, but it's 60,000. What is your football stadium seat?
The link.
Is it 70?
I'd have to let me look here. Because you remember, you have to look, because not only are they going to fill the stands, they're going to put everything on the field. 67,594.
Okay, so yeah, you could get that up.
So you could probably fit another 75 to 80 in there.
Well, like we hosted the Final Four here, and you got a good 72 in there, I think. Something like, I don't know why they couldn't it, but we'll see. Or we'll get me a Royal Rumble. I keep saying Royal Rumble is the one big four I've not been to. I've done Mania, SummerSlam.
I would want to go to like the WrestleMania in Philly, but I just know it's going to be an arm and a leg to go, because it's going to be the 2-night event. You're going to have all of the things going up before it, and from where we're at, where I'm at near Harrisburg, it's a 2-hour drive or more to get to Philly, and the only way getting to Philly is on the Schuylkill, and you'll sit in traffic for about an hour just there alone, because it's the only. It's a 3-lane highway going into Philly, and that's the only way to get in. It's just a pain getting in.
So this coming year, I guess in a way, we'll be in LA. So you don't want to know what those.
Yeah,
I've looked and I'm like.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
That's not doable. So even though Roman and The Rock, I really want to see it.
Rock's going to be the one who splits the belts.
I don't know what he'll do, but anyway. That's all I got for my last call. But like I said, I think it's gonna be fun to see just the visual of what they'll do in Cardiff. We'll have All Out the next night, and then Worlds Collide that same weekend, or possibly that Monday. So next weekend's a busy weekend of wrestling for us right here.
There you go. I'm gonna have to keep my eye out and keep a little up to date, since I'm back to reality now. And
I think we're going to go live Friday night as the talk. Greg cannot go live Saturday morning, so we'll go live Friday night to get predictions and catch up on All Out on Sunday. It's a busy weekend in the UK too, because the Foo Fighters are doing their tribute show to Taylor Hawkins at Wembley.
Okay,
that would be a cool
Wembley. Thing. Yeah, that would.
I mean, they've already done SummerSlam '92 there, but
update it.
Go back, yeah. So, that's gonna be really emotional to watch the Foo Fighters without Taylor Hawkins. But they got a slew of guests coming, so that's gonna be cool to see. Busy weekend in the UK there. Foo Fighters and WWE same day. I know Wales and London is worlds apart, but
it's still though. I mean, you got the wrestling and rock and roll fans are almost one and the same, so you're gonna have a lot of crossover.
We might as well be. Us a comic book nerds, probably.
Hey, everybody has common ground somewhere.
Exactly. All right. Well, you guys are on hiatus for the time being, correct?
I was shooting the message here. We were planning on possibly doing something tonight, but we've had a little bit of schedule snafu, so we're looking to go on tomorrow.
Okay.
So
you got the playoffs coming in a month?
Just about, yeah. They're coming down to the wire. Everything's tightening up. Philly's making a push. They're in the wild card. The Yankees have fallen off. The Dodgers are still the Dodgers.
Who's chasing the Yankees? Is that the Blue Jays?
I was going to say, I think the AL East is pretty well. The Orioles are the ones that are surprising everybody going for the wild card. Okay. They're the ones going on a tear right now. They're not going to have a shot at the division. Yeah. The Rays are the closest ones at 7.5 out. Okay. But
who won last year? Was it the Braves?
Yeah.
Was it the Rays the year before?
The Rays still have a ways to go. The Dodgers won it a couple years ago. Okay. And then the Dodgers in Houston have bounced around. Okay. Atlanta's won it.
I was thinking of Tampa Bay Lightning. sorry. There was a time I thought it was like Lightning and Rays had won it the same year, but maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it was Bucks and Rays. But...
Yeah, I'm not sure there because I know I was gonna say I was trying to think of the trifecta of the NFL team won the Super Bowl.
Might have been all three of them, I would think.
It didn't happen though. One fell short.
Okay.
So it'll happen.
All
but
right,
yeah.
Well, when you guys go live, we'll definitely be checking it out. Just a bit outside.
Yep. We'll spam it out there. It's been
all the awards. Is the awards looking like one or two guys coming down to it, or is anybody showing themselves?
There's three guys. I would say safely there's always three guys in contention of something. Okay. Right now in the National League, St. Louis Cardinals have Paul Goldschmidt hunting the Triple Crown. Triple Crown in baseball terms is the average. You have the highest average, the most home runs, and the most RBI.
Okay.
Goldschmidt's got the average in the RBIs, and he's chasing Kyle Schwarber of Philadelphia for the home runs.
And Aaron Judge is going for a home run, right?
Yeah, he's seeking number 50, and he could possibly have a chance at 60. But
you think that'll be appointment TV if he gets closer to 60, like back in the day?
Oh, it's going to be everywhere. Yeah, I mean, if you're on
Full Host is going for 700.
He's trying for 700. I think he's about 7 or 8 short. Okay. He's sitting on 690 something.
I think 692. You know what? The Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, that was a fun time. Now,
yeah.
Of course, we have the black cloud over it now, but
but for what it was, I mean,
that was appointment TV.
You look back in the day, and that's what saved baseball because they had the strike the year before. Now, of course, years after you have the steroids, but that was the year in the chase that saved the game.
And didn't Bonds get to 70 though?
Bonds still has the record at 72.
But most people say 63.
Yeah, Roger Maris is So I'm in the boat of Roger Maris is still the season holder and Hank Aaron's still the all-time leader.
What did Hank Aaron get overall?
He finished with 755 career.
Okay. So Bonds
is 760 something, 763.
I didn't know if he shattered that. But
yeah,
he didn't shatter it too much. Not as much as I thought.
I mean, you got to remember too, Barry Bonds Barry Bonds, the argument being with him is he could have been a Hall of Famer without the steroids, but you have to figure out where the steroids happened. And I always argue it's when he showed up to camp in San Francisco with 25 pounds of muscle and a head that grew 3 sizes. Like that's when the steroids started.
Look at his pirate days and what his arms were like this long. Like
but he was still hitting 30 home runs. He was still stealing like 20, 30 bases. But, he was getting outshined by guys like McGwire and Sosa. And he said, well, if that's what you want, I'll give it to you. And he did. There's a stat.
Do you think Hank Aaron, do you think that will be touched? I mean, pitchers are a lot better now, too.
At some point, at some point, something will happen. Like you have guys like Juan Soto who are insane. If Bryce Harper stayed healthy, he could have had a shot. There'll be guys that could always kind of be around it.
I just don't know. Yeah, who knows if Aaron Judge, he can.
He's in his 30s, so he's probably not gonna. Okay. He might have. I don't know what his career numbers are, but he might. His best bet's to try to hunt.
Was he an older guy to get to the major leagues then?
Yeah, he came up when he was in his mid to late 20s.
Okay, that's why. Okay, I would have thought because it's funny. Like some guys get signed out of high school or whatever, and they'd have to wait a couple years.
Yeah, there's some guys that come up and they're 19, 20, 21, and they just immediately start. And then there's other guys who are 25, 26 and don't find it till they're 28. Yeah. And still put together great careers. But
and of course, he has the luxury of being on the Yankees, so he's going to get the attention anyway.
Yeah, that too.
And then what about, what's that? Wasn't there Giancarlo? Wasn't he a big home run hitter for a little bit?
Yeah, he was, but his thing is...
Did he get injured?
Yeah, he gets hurt.
Okay.
He hasn't had a full healthy season in a while.
And where did he was on the Marlins for a little bit?
Yeah, he was in Miami, and then he wound up in New York as well.
Okay.
And his thing is he's a bit right. Last time I checked, he was a big bomber bust guy. So in a span of like 20 at bats, he would have like 5 hits, and 4 of those would be home runs.
Do you think that Yankees aura will ever go away?
No, because I've been to new and old Yankee Stadium, and just the cast of characters, like culturally that you'll see.
I mean, I guess that's the thing. You always hear about the big.
Everybody knows the Yankees.
Reggie Jackson and Luke.
I mean, you could probably even if you're not a baseball fan, you can probably name 5 or 6 Yankees.
Yeah.
Like, just Mansell, Ruth, Gehrig, Munson, Clemens. I mean, you can just go off on a boat, and I'm missing a bunch. Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth. I mean, you can go on and on.
That's true. I just keep like them and Notre Dame feels like they'll always be the key. Maybe I guess Duke basketball too. Maybe
in a sense, yeah. I'm not.
I do wonder now that Coach K will be gone.
Well, Coach K was, but you could still build an absolute monster team out of Duke graduates that he coached.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not the biggest basketball fan in the world, but yeah, the Coach K and Duke basketball will be. Yeah, Lakers Celtics. It'll just be one of those things that you just say and people can instantly think of 2 or 3 moments.
Yeah, I feel like the Yankees are just that always that everybody still wants to go there.
Everyone wants to
Maybe
be.
That's the thing. Well, will the big players always end up there? Maybe that's the question.
It used to be the thing. Now it's the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to the Dodgers.
That's true. That's all about that. Which, of course, Dodgers have their own history.
Another team that you could just go out there and say, name me 4 Dodgers, and you're off to the races.
All right. Well, this has been awesome, and enjoy having Quigs on as always. Willing to step in. He's in the dark. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, I was flipping tabs there. I haven't had.
He's Bray Wyatt.
Not long enough to.
He's Bray Wyatt. He's gonna go dark.
Where's my face? Where's my?
You look different.
Yeah, it got dark here quicker than I could turn the light on. So the only thing
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that sun was going like in.
Yeah, it was literally in my face, and now it's black.
There we go. All right, we'll definitely look for what we will go live this Friday night, and live probably Sunday, and live whenever. We're just live. We got a lot of shit this week.
It's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing, no. A lot of wrestling though. So good times. All right, well, enjoy the week and talk to you guys later.